Mm-hmm. Lead guards.
Number
Whoop.
1. Dense.
25 damage to Alauneari.
Full.
Perhaps
Tristan.
Perhaps it is worthwhile you did heal yourself, Manaki.
It sure is.
Blam.
Let's summon a cheetah man.
A what?
A cheetah man.
Okay.
Danish cheetah.
Exactly. Beep, 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 beep.
Mortal Kombat!
No, cheetah men.
Oh.
It's okay. Jonas doesn't understand things.
No, I actually do understand
He's
now.
he's from northern Scandinavia.
I know the crappy NES game.
It doesn't convert though. But
8 damage?
8 damage indeed.
Mm-hmm.
What is this hell beast?
So my fire alarm told me I'm on fire, but I'm not.
we're happy to find that out.
That's kind of funny. By the way, you're on fire. What? No, I'm not.
It's more like a screaming like a desperate person. Like, oh, I got fire! Right?
This is just getting annoying. I guess I can take out the look. Hopefully this time I can take out him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do we
swing.
swing?
My attack pretty much won't do anything.
Since Cheetahman was such a buggy game, can I use glitches with Cheetahman?
That seems fair to me.
Should have done it with the other guy.
I didn't know it was going to be a crit.
4C crit spell.
Actually, no, I'll
Alauneari?
stay there.
Yeah, Alauneari will withdraw. She is. She feels like she's done enough. Done.
You know what? That's probably a good idea.
She's not even over there. She's gonna go here.
I actually know what happened.
Out.
Alright, good. With both of them down, I don't have to use the last resort secret weapon. We'll go ahead and shift over here this way to prevent elite guards from, I don't know. I withdraw too, in Alauneari's direction. It looked like a good idea for her at the time. I don't see why it can't be a good idea for me too.
Cost me my life.
Aww. You know, his face is so ugly. I'm having... the blade itself does not even want to. It's like... just swerves right out of the way.
Sin?
Well,
So
last
then
turn we
after-
had you pick up your bow and you shot an arrow. You have the bow
Hooray.
in hand and guilt on your shoulders.
Great. So then after slowly recovering, not really remembering what happened apart from some very disturbing images with Rae'nkalar and
And
something.
you have Tristan's blood on your hands.
Well, on his arrows,
on
right?
the arrows embedded into her body.
Yeah. So
She's
he's
in
going to
every-
do what he
his
normally
family,
does,
shooting
which is...
Rae'nkalar would be the thing to do.
Yeah, he's going to shoot Rae'nkalar. Voluntarily. No, let's shoot that guy. It's 2 hits for 47 damage. Five for tap, yeah.
At this point, Rilinid, I imagine, would like duck when the arrows come flying for once.
Oh,
Everything considered.
40, Jonas. Well, it doesn't really matter.
No, he's down and dead anyway.
46, sorry.
Alright. Combat is over.
God damn.
Greased and haunting mist vanishes. Slow rotation.
Tristan pulls out an arrow.
She looks very annoyed at the Sin and Trislan.
What do you want us?
Zin just turns to Alauneari and asks, who shot Trislan with my arrows?
He doesn't answer.
Tristan just gonna hold a hand to a wound. Beep 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 beep.
I don't remember what happened.
Here. Tristan. You're a victim in this.
Yeah, I'm the victim.
Whoops. I didn't mean to give myself. I meant to roll.
You're the victim in this. Here, I feel much better now.
I love this. It's great.
7 hit points to you.
You know,
God damn it.
so yeah, Jonas, we're gonna use my wonderful skills as a profession torturer to make sure that my friend there, my new friend, he does not die. You know,
Oh, yes.
I gotta secure him in the special bindings. You know, to properly prove my friendship. Gotta wrap the ropes around.
Sure, you can make a check to stabilize him.
Sure, I can do that.
Beep, 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 beep.
Profession librarian. Go.
He's stable.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm glad you're perfectly okay with letting the cheetah leave your side after everything that just transpired, Dina.
Tristan was confused too.
Yeah, and she's full of Zin's arrows, so you know. I mean,
Well, that's true. Okay.
That's just a coincidence.
All she remembers
Let's-
is turning to her. and
Let's
then
not argue about who killed who.
shot her.
What's
I know
been done has been done. Right? Right?
Oh yeah, lizard.
She only has one arrow in her.
She's much better now.
There.
Oh, okay. Let's dispel cheater. You cheater! And summon Sakari. Unless something happens in the minute.
No, the slave. When the battle is won, the slaves, sort of shiver near the pack lizards, and if you cast any glance at them, they throw themselves to the ground, of course, and
Awesome.
begs for mercy.
Zin just points at the arrow in Tristan's body and says, "Can I have that back? I need those."
She already pulled it out and threw it at the ground.
Okay, thank you.
That is so rude.
Alauneari's not feeling good right now, so she'll see if there's anything that can lighten her mood in the loot bags of this caravan.
Sure.
Beginning to go through the camp, systematically.
Certainly, you can toss the camp and rummage through.
and a stone mask, Starling. I'll look after the slaves. We'll drag my new friend over to where the slaves are, put him down.
Sure.
I'm sure they have a good relationship to him.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Alauneari, and the gang, you begin to toss the camp. I suppose then that you take your time, basically taking 20 and going
Yeah.
through all of it.
You're not going anywhere else today.
Sure. Roll a d4 for me, someone. Okay. Well, you go through the caravan, checking all the lizards and their different goods and stuff. It seems they're quite packed actually with what you would say pretty useful supplies actually. There's like tools, some ore, some specialized equipment here. If this were taken back to Vothis, it would add 3 BP to the treasury.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
Apart from that, the late Basur Artheus, who you never knew the name of course, seems to have a spell book with spells written in it. I don't think anyone uses spell books though, so
Worth selling.
No.
yeah. It can be sold for equivalent of 1,000 gold.
What do you mean by equivalent? Is it all going to be in coppers?
Yes. 10,000 copper. No, 100,000 copper. Apart from that, there is a chest inside the fancy tent that contains a total of 2,000 gold in various coinages and like gemstones and stuff. The elite guard all had long swords and breastplates, basically. Shields. So if you want to pick that up, you certainly can.
Yeah, that's fine. We have slaves now. Ah.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, clearly we'll arm them. And,
So what is it? Breastplates and like
Breastplates and longswords.
Oh, the slaves drow.
Yes.
Oh, good.
how many elite guards were
Uh,
there?
4.
Yeah, 4 breastplates. That's like 800 gold pieces or 400 or so.
The normal guards had like leather armor and rapiers.
Will you take care of the loot calculations, Dark?
I don't have it all written. I wasn't writing it.
There's like a spellbook for 1,000 gold now.
why has Dark suddenly become the fucking accountant? I'm just curious.
I don't know, he
I-
suggested the things.
Well, I just suggested selling the breastplate since it's 400. I put some number behind it.
I was asking if you were doing any sort of calculations. I think Grimith has been doing it most of the time. Just someone do it.
Alright. That's it for the things in the camp. And they also have like provisions and food and stuff, but you know.
And a very fancy looking tent.
Yes, fancy looking tent. There is a bed in the tent.
Yay!
That seems to have various, equipment on it.
Like what?
Well, some manacles and whips and things like that.
And now we'll leave that to Tristan and go to another tent.
Oh, good, manacles.
What?
Yes! What I couldn't obtain in Vothis, there's like manacles, a leather whip. Yes!
Yep.
But they're like pink, flushy ones.
Yes, fluffy pink.
I think drow are more like rusty spikes.
Yeah, it's a little more spiky.
Well, these are weird draw.
That's okay, those can be put on my new friend as well.
Oh yeah.
Do with the whip.
Probably
They
used
seem
to
to
it anyway.
fit perfectly.
Yeah, they seem to fit rather well actually.
Good.
Tristan will take notes.
Sit in the corner and take notes. Fascinating.
Well, I don't have profession,
Is-
sexual activist. It's profession torturer, which, could be one of the same for some people.
It's the same side of that coin, or whatever you can say it.
Sure.
Never heard that.
He's in no condition right now. That's okay.
This is Tristan. She would say stuff like that.
Yeah, I like to watch. I'll watch him, uneasily resting. It's
Smiling, stroking the whip.
Yeah. Let's be creepy here.
And they will say that she's not to be disturbed and then go sleep while the lizard watches over her.
Yeah, I already handled this with Tristan anyway. She doesn't know that I watch her at night, so I've already got this creepy stare patting down after a century,
Stop saying you're watching her.
But he's incorporeal, he just flies through.
Yeah, just peeks in with his veil and mask.
Just flying through the wall, like look in the tent.
Their rooms were next to each other, I mean.
I might want to add that Tristan is not sleeping after you notice that Rain is not sleeping. Tristan is not sleeping either now.
That's okay, after all of that babbling incoherently, she has mental disorders, so there's probably a good reason for that.
Watch her be awake too.
I see you, Tristan. Alright, well, I take it then that you rest.
Probably.
Okay, wonderful. Then we will close down this and return to the...
Well, I should copy my token across because I'm
You
injured.
don't want to copy your tokens.
Yeah, remove your old ones back at the Earthwound map and replace it with this.
Dyson. There you go.
Let's see here. Go, Wand of Cure Light Wounds on me. Change 1d8 plus 1. I don't know if it should work.
Time to leave some spell slots open and prepare some cure light wounds.
2.
Where's Superman?
3, 4. Oh, yeah, it's good. Dark.
Well, let me just remove ability damage and stuff, or lower it if I
That's
want.
fine. Yeah. We'll go ahead and remove my my prayer. It's like a Madonna song somewhere.
We'll quickly visit the bathroom.
Okay.
And then in the morning I can also just heal myself a little bit as well.
Yeah, it's fine. I was gonna knock you upside the head with it only once, I think.
Once then, yeah, save as much of the wand as possible. So.
If we need healing, Alauneari can take care of whoever needs it.
That's a good first one. It's a good. Well, actually, not the first one. That's one. Actually, not that good. I just realised. But oh,
Yeah.
You should it as weak. But 18 back, which puts me full hit points. I'm fine.
Yeah, Zin might want a few after punching himself in the
Zin
nose
can
a couple of
take a
times.
So 4 charges for me, 1 for Rae'nkalar. We're gonna need to take care of Trislin.
I didn't use one. I used my own spells.
No, I hit you with 1.
For Zin,
Trust me, I hit you
15.
with 1. You don't understand, Dark. I hit you with the
At
wand,
30
whether
hit points,
we
you
lost
said.
a charge or not. I hit you with the wand.
Okay, and
Fair enough.
rest.
Oh, goodness.
You can definitely hit me with it.
Absolutely.
that should top him off.
Sneak attack. And
Why did I gain 5 hit points and not 6? Okay.
Yes, you sneak attack with the wand, granting an extra 1d6 positive energy.
absolutely.
It does say it does the same kind of damage your attack roll did.
Looks like
Did
Trislin's fine.
was any of those healings for Trislin?
No.
Alauneari didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Aww.
I mean, if Trish has Tristan...
I mean, I looked at your hit points. You're
pretty close.
She hasn't replaced her token yet, I don't think.
Yes, she has.
Okay, then yeah, you're pretty close. It's not for you.
Dude,
Another day's
cure light-
rest should be very close. So
You
I mean-
can't has.
Yeah, you can have a cure light wounds. There you go. I knew.
Rest.
Thank you.
I was gonna suggest not healing, and just have, him just sulk there in his pain and anguish, as it should be.
But he didn't do anything.
No, he did.
Exactly.
Not voluntarily, anyways.
No, he did. His
He's completely innocent.
His player made character choices that gave him a horrible will save.
Next feed design will. You know
If
that.
only you were as useless as D&D 3.5 Rangers, we wouldn't be in this situation.
How dare you play an effective class?
Right.
Pathfinder.
I mean, look at me. If I got confused, what am I gonna do? Come on.
Gonna try to punch people while ethereal.
Yeah. I was holding the longsword +1, so it was a magic weapon.
So yeah, the slaves certainly, keep the distance to you. They sort of cover the corner. Let's see here. If any of the lords are available for talking.
Talking, go on. Rilinid likes to talk.
One of your slaves will, sort of shuffle forward and, get down in front of Rilinid.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Well, Alauneari
Alauneari
said
said,
would,
I don't want to be disturbed. End
yeah,
quote.
do not disturb the matron if she...
We're still at night. All right, she'll
Yeah.
be over here.
You do not disturb the matron if she said that. So, the former Thomas
wait.
Handelman... What?
Then Tristan will be remain cutting wood figures.
Okay.
Why not?
Yes. So he will, bow, prostrate himself before in front of Alauneari and say, "My lord," and sort of, visibly shaken of talking directly to Rilinid. The sort of motions towards the drow slaves that sort of come, in a corner. You have not taken control over them, my lord. Do you wish me to do so? I can instruct them in the traveling accommodations that we have had so far, organize them and sort of look around and help out.
Rilinid is actually surprised by this. So surprised that he's actually going to lift, unwrap part of the funeral shroud in a slow process, not answering the gentleman, and slowly lift the mask and lean down a bit and say,
Excuse me?
He, bows again, pressing his face against the stone and says, My lord, just for effectiveness, ease of travel, I'm sorry, my lord.
You know, this is actually a novelty. I don't think I've ever had a human at one point lecture me on how to handle slaves.
He doesn't say anything. Remains on the ground.
What, mate, was it the 2 years of experience you've had in Varthis? Was it the prior years of experience you've had in the Duragar camps? Was it the fact that you can't see and so you're actually blinded by visions because you can't perceive the dark? What motivated you to... you are... Maybe it is out of desperation, or you actually have the biggest set of anyone I've ever seen.
He doesn't say anything. Again, he sort of just, again on the floor and sort of he shivers a bit.
Rilinid enjoys this, so this is going to go on for like several minutes of like drawing this on to make sure like...
Oh, what did you have in mind for preparing these new acquisitions?
He stammers, but my lord, we have been traveling with you for some time now, and I'm grown accustomed to your needs and wants. These slaves are new, and well, for ease of use and effectiveness, I was just suggesting. I am sorry again, my lord, if I have spoken out of turn. It is perhaps my former military training.
Well, I suppose I am in a sufficient mood, and indeed you have caught me off guard with this. Rilinid will lean down. Very well. From this day forward, you are personally in charge of the well-being of every slave here. Call it a position of overseer. Should any harm befall them, that will rest in your hands.
He, remains on the ground, face pressed against the rock, and I say, "Thank you, my lord, thank you."
And do be careful. I will remind you, perhaps needlessly, that these can see much farther than you.
He nods as you say, my lord.
You are dismissed.
He, crawls away, gets up, and then quickly, scoots off towards the slaves.
Yeah. Rilinid gives a confused look. The whole exchange seems so weird for him, the prospect of it. But slaves, they're humans, he doesn't have much experience with them, he's just tried to pick up their stupid, ugly language. Like, that makes sense. And he's like, whatever. Slaves, whatever, they have fun controlling each other, it's fine.
Yeah, and something like that seems to be happening over the course of the rest of the night, basically.
Slave pecking order, that's cool, whatever.
As now, slave overseer Thomas Handelman sort of orders a slave around and instructs them and drills them. Seemingly taking to the role of leading people with some affinity.
This is of great interest. What sort of position does he have planned for his beloved?
Indeed.
Interesting little social experiment. I'd have fun.
Soon enough, they'll be walking around with Saren Ray medallions.
What?
Wait a minute, Ed.
What is this?
All the drow that the slaves turn to good. They embrace Saren Ray, the redeemed.
There is a hope in the darkness.
They escape to the surface.
And they look to Alauneari and says, "We will forgive you, Alauneari, for you do not know what you do."
She'll laugh heartily.
They'll disappear in shimmering rays of light.
Yep.
It's good.
I didn't think that would happen. Most interesting. We've got to get some more human slaves. Maybe they can all do that.
If human slaves escaped and were in a position to harm her, and all they said were, "We forgive you," and left, she would find that hilarious. completely comical.
All right. Well, night passes, and you can take equivalent of an extended rest.
Another? Oh, cool.
Oh, just the one we took.
No, just
Oh,
the
okay.
one you already factored in.
Okay.
At morning, so to speak, the scantily clad gentleman in shackles will sort of stir.
Ooh!
Ooh!
That's okay. It's in my tent. No one
But where
panic.
does he stir, Jonas?
Where,
Wherever you want him to.
where I put him. He's tucked away next to Shell, you know? I got room in my tent now. Just like one bundle next to another.
Yep.
I got like this
Aw.
little bell net draped over them both, so if any of them move, it jingles. So as he stirs,
Yep. He seems to, he wakes up sort of, rubbing a bit at his hands and stuff, and sort of looks around, sees himself in chains, and sort of
It's nothing.
Not again.
seems something like that. Yes. He looks around and sees Rilinid.
no, that's leaning up from his bedroll. Little bell net, draped all over their bodies, so the jingle is heard. Doesn't even have the stone mask on, just the funeral shroud draped on his face.
Creepiest person ever. I sleep with my shroud.
Just look at that face, right?
Yeah. The scantily clad drow looks at Rilinid and sort of he bows towards him. Well, from one imprisonment to another, then, my lord. He sort of bows.
Rilinid shrugs.
Of a sort, unless you would prefer death.
He sort of seems to think that would prefer what I would prefer, my lord, is of course to not die, unless you plan to make my life a living hell. He gives a rakish smile. At that point, I would prefer death.
Oh,
If
Rilinid.
my lord would be so magnanimous to let me choose.
Rilinid will flick his eyes up and says,
I'm not sure. I've been in this business for a while. Some would prefer it, others would not. What about we take a wait-and-see approach? You sample the waters a bit, we see how it goes.
The drow smiles. Of course, my lord. All that you wish.
Fantastic. May I have the pleasure of knowing your name?
of course, this entire... Let me magnify this. Funeral shroud.
Yep. The scantily clad gentleman smiles. His rakish smile and says, "My name, my lord, is Isem Diaris. A former, I would now suspect, concubine or consort of the, I would again then assume a late representative of the House Artheus.
Yes. House Artheus has now currently suffered a minor setback in economic supplies.
He nods. Yes, that seems to be the way of things. Divide and conquer. And to the winner goes the spoils. He sort of moves a bit under the net.
Were you just a bound concubine of sorts then, or were you privy to other information of your captor?
I proved myself to be very skilled at my craft. He sort of motions to himself. And for the gratitude of that, I was rewarded with a modicum of freedom, my lord. As such, I occupied a small position as, not only a sexual release for the good mistress, but also a small position of advising.
Fantastic. I take then, given the position of House Artheus, that you were traveling through these tunnels, perhaps heading from Teresia to make trade with elsewhere?
He nods. That is true, my lord.
And there was a collapsed tunnel which prevented your approach to your destination.
That is also correct, my lord. We were not aware of this cave-in, and our plan was to sneak around and find our way, the way back. Sadly, we also ran into another cave-in that was not there before. Size all very problematic, which led us to try to brave the northern route, although it has a somewhat sinister reputation.
But of course, the walking madness, as I'm sure you read on that little message at that cave-in.
He nods. Indeed, my lord is well travelled. Yes, the walking madness.
I don't know.
But you both of your pictures, you don't have a shirt on.
Who needs a shirt when you're this fabulous?
Seriously. Come on.